Hi and welcome to Hygge Homeschool. My name is Maya and I'm the homeschool mom of a third grader and a toddler. And today I'm going to be talking about our tree and forest unit study. So the spine in this tree unit was this book for my daughter. Can you hear the trees talking? And it's by, what's his name, Peter Wolben. I don't know, I can't pronounce it right. It's German, so if there's any German speakers out there, please correct me in the comments. So this is the children's version of this one, The Hidden Life of Trees, and I read this one on my own. It's a little deeper, it's an adult book. I'm going to be making a review of this one. It's so good, I have to share it with you guys. And then my daughter and me went through this one together, about how the tree works, the different systems, the root systems, the fungi, everything. It was so amazing. So in this video, I'm going to be talking a bit first about the experiments we did, and then in the end, I'm going to be showing you all the books that we use. So settle down with a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and I'll start chatting away. So the first thing we went through in our unit study was like, how does the tree get food? How does all that work? So we went through photosynthesis, and we made a little experiment where we took a little glass jar and we put baking soda in, and I think it was a spinach leaf. We tried a different leaf, but I think it was a spinach leaf from my salad box that worked the best. And then we put it first in darkness and we could see it, and then we took it out and looked, and there were no bubbles. And then when we put it in sunlight, bubbles started being made around the leaf, like it was fizzling in the sunlight. And that's the oxygen from the photosynthesis that you can see being made. And that was super cool. My daughter loved it. I think I'm gonna make a little description of all the experiments and put on my webpage so you can print it or you can go and reference it. But that was the first experiment we made. After the photosynthesis, we talked about plant cells, and we didn't dive that deep scientifically into how it works and the formulas for photosynthesis, except as like a broad view. But we did look at onion skin cells in a microscope, and I was so impressed at how well that worked, and we could see all the little nucleuses and the little membranes of the cell. So we used red onion skin, which worked perfectly for us. I don't know, if you can use any onion skin, but the red one worked best for us. We tried, I think it was a yellow or white onion. It didn't work quite as well, but I'll see if I can put it in there so you can see how well it looked in the video. Next thing we did was I saved little eggshells, and then Matilda, my oldest, put little spoons of dirt, and her and Madison put little seeds in. So I think it was a row of 6 eggs by 2, so they each got one little row, and we put them in there, and we made two of each. So we had 6 different kinds of seeds, and we studied the seeds to see how different they were, and we looked at the bag and we saw what they will turn into. And then we also took the rest of the seeds and put out in pots in the garden. And then we got to see them grow. And some of them grow really fast. Some of them didn't even grow. And then we planted them in the garden in the end. And the sad thing is they don't look that well now out in the garden. I'm not sure they will survive for spring, but luckily we have all the other seeds that we planted in all the pots, and it was so much fun to see them grow and see who sprouted first. And we took pictures of the little seeds so we could reference and see how they reacted to the soil and the water, and we talked about it. It was a very, very fun and cute little experiment. I think it was, if I were to do it again, I probably would just do it in pots. I know the eggshells is supposed to give the soil calcium and be better. And it is also super cute. It looks super cute, like little eggshells, but I think I'll just do it in pots because it was so hard to transfer it then from the eggshells and into the pots in our garden. And I think that kind of killed most of the little sprouts to be moved outside then. So I don't know. Yeah, I probably would just do it in the pots if we were to do it again, even though it's super easy and super cute with little eggshells. Then we did the roots in water propagation, where we took some cuttings actually from the plants. I can't really see them, they're blurred out behind me, and put them in water, and we studied them to see when they would grow out little roots, so we could transfer them into pots with soil. That worked really well, and now we have 3 pots with new plants, and we're watering them, and we're keeping an eye on them and see if they grow and if we can keep them alive. I think so. It really went well, and it was fun to see. One of them was just one leaf that Matilda wanted to try, and to see that even with one leaf we were able to make roots. So that was a super fun experiment, and to see them grow out, and now we're going to see them, you know, grow out in the pots. Like, you can't see it, it's like pots, but it will be fun. And now we got some more plants in the house, and we all love plants, so that's perfect. So one experiment that really flopped for us was that we tried to make a mason jar herb garden. None of them grew, and even it started going mold on it came with like these little wooden sticks where we wrote which herb was in each jar. It was fun to pick out, put the soil in and the drainage in. I'm thinking if we didn't put enough drainage in, if we could have done something different there, but none of them sprouted in a month that they were in the mason jars, and they were right here behind me in the window. So I ended up just throwing the soil out, and yeah, I didn't know what to, I think it got mold. I don't know if we overwatered or if the seeds were too old, if seeds can get too old. The thing that did work where we tried to grow like little foods inside was garlic. We took some, I don't know what cloves of garlic, is that what they're called? And I had one that sprouted and we had one that didn't, and we put them in also in a mason jar, and then we planted it. Now we planted it out in the garden, and it had really grown. That worked so well, and it gotten like so tall from those little cloves. So that was an experiment that really worked well with growing your own garlic. Another experience that flopped completely in the plant section was beans. We read about the plants, how they can find their way, and we watch these videos where if you put them in a dark box and you make like a hole of light, they will find their way. And when you plant the beans, it doesn't matter which way you turn them, they'll find their way. So our plan was to have 2 mason jars and a bean in each, and then when they sprouted, we're going to try and put the one of them in a box to see it follow the light. And what happened was one of them sprouted fine, and the other had the roots up in the air. It was so weird. It sprouted, like it had a long stem, and then roots came out in the top. And it was just so comically funny, because I've been talking to Matilda and raving about how they can find a way in the darkness, and they can find a way in any circumstance. They could even grow. In the video we saw around corners, and there's one or little bean couldn't even turn the right way, standing behind me here in the window shelf and find its way to the light. It had roots at the top, and it was fun to see it compared to the other, because I think if I've only had one, I might be like, is this some weird, I don't know, growth? But it was clear it was like upside down, growing its roots up. So that was one that totally flopped. I think we might try again later, and then instead of just planting 2 beans, we're gonna plant, a lot of beans and hope for some of them at least come up. We planted the beans outside now, and they're growing fine. And I turned the little one around and try and save it. One of the most magical discoveries we did, which wasn't even anything I planned for, was that when we had about fungi, it started raining here in Southern California, like really pouring down. And Matilda was playing in the garden. We played a lot with mud this month. And she said, Mom, come and look. And it was like, we have this little bush that has like some roots that's a little on the topsoil. And there was the weirdest thing growing up. It was like this long, pink, stretchy, wormy thing. And we were like, what is this? And I went in and we looked it up. And I must admit, we did destroy it to experiment and look at it. But I'm sure there's a ton of spores out there because we spread them everywhere. So we'll have more next time it rains. And it turned out to be a stinkhorn fungi. It might be a devil's finger even. It was like red in the tip and then becoming more and more pink and then white at the very end. And I thought it was okay for our experiment because to kind of destroy, we pulled it up to see, you know, how far down, and then it was growing from this, and it was also described online as this egg-like thing with an egg white-like substance. It was so interesting, and it was just as we were learning about a fungi, and it couldn't be more perfect that it arrived in our garden. I've never before seen mushroom or fungi in our garden, and it was like it was sent for us. It was meant for us to discover and look at and take in. So it was so amazing, and a little bit gross. I was like, what is this when I first saw it? You can try and look stinkhorn fungi is what it was called, and some of them look like almost octopuses, and I was like, what is this? So it's so fun because we read about it, like how weird the different fungi could look, and then to be like taken back at how weird it actually looked in real life. It was so much fun. So that was like a magical learning moment for us. So that was our experiments, and now I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you some of the books that we used in this unit study. So now I'm here, and this was our very spine that Matilda read throughout, like with the unit. Like we took a chapter every other day or something, and then some of them every day, some of them there was more day between, and then we read book in between. And I read this one. This is like the adult version of this one, which is so good. And I'm gonna be making a review specifically about this just because I thought it was so good. But just to let you know, and this one, it tells you so much about everything we know about trees. So it's very short, like it only has 7 chapters, but it goes through so much knowledge. It's so full of stuff to know, and Peter Volleban is so passionate about trees. So it's really an awesome book. I can highly recommend this. Then our read aloud for this month, where we had about trees, was Big Tree, which is so beautiful. I'm also going to be making a more in-depth review of this one. But just look, it's about these 2 little seeds that get separated from their mom, and it is just beautiful and poetic and very scientific to it. Even though it's like fictional with the little seeds that comes alive, it is based in science, everything that happened. So this is I highly recommend this. And now I'm going to go through the different books that we used. So this one was also kind of a spine. It was one that we kept going back to. It has like so much factual knowledge, and I think if you were to get like one tree book that could help you out in your homeschool library, this is a really good option for that. I wouldn't read it like cover to cover, but it was just super, super good, and it has beautiful pictures, and And we have used it a lot again and again. And it was actually from here, yeah, I just saw it, that we read about the photosynthesis, and Matilda did this drawing, and we learned about what leaves is, and we did the experiment where we looked at the cells in the leaves. So this one I can highly recommend as like a staple in your homeschool library. The next ones that I'm gonna be showing you is books that I use more for Madison. So this is more like toddler, and just to get into it. This one is super cute, and it just tells you, you know, very simple about plants and pollination. She's only 2, so I feel like this was a little too adultish, or a little too old for her, and maybe a little too young for my 3rd grader. But I think right there in between kindergarten, 1st grade, this is a very good option. The next one we used, I loved it. It's so cute because of an acorn. And it's just, you know, because of an acorn, there's a tree, and because of the tree, there's a beetle, and because of the beetle, there's a bird. It's just a super cute little poetic book that I enjoyed reading with Madison. Another one that she loved was this one. This is like a little flat book where you can see little stories under each. Like, it's really cute, and you can talk about it. It's not one that I would, again, read cover to cover, but it was just super cute to sit with her, my 2-year-old, and talk about. And another one that's like that is this one, A Year Around the Oak. She doesn't have the patience to sit in here and listen to me, but it was just fun to look at the year and look at the pictures. And I am a big fan of Gerda Müller, and I love her books. And another one that I'm a big fan of is Elsa Beskow. So of course we had to read The Children of the Forest, which is also super cute, and so great for a little toddler. And you might not read, you know, all the text, but just to look at it and what happens, and look at the little forest children. And then there's this one, which I think was really good for Matilda also. It was like a very slow down and beautiful illustrations. And you can do the thing, I feel like there's 2 ways. You can just read these one if you're sitting with a little toddler, and then look at the pictures. Or there's like a longer text here, so if you have one that's a little older, you can go through that. But it was fun. It was fun to see the different seeds, and so forth. Then the last one that was more geared towards Madison is this one, Lost in the Woods, and it is really, really cute too. It is so cute. It's with real pictures, and it's just a cute little forest book for, like, again, toddler, 1st grade, in that range. I think my oldest also enjoyed it. It is super cute. So the next books that I'm going to show you, I combined a little bit with this one. So when there was about fungi in here, then we read about fungi and so forth, and different types of forest. So let me just show you. So in here there was a section about forest animals, and for that we read a little more about that. This is one that my 3rd grader can easily read herself. Then we have different type of forest, and I only got one that was like the rainforest, because I felt that was like the one that we needed an extra book about to dive into a little more. Then there was a section about fungi. Let me just move these out of the way a little bit. And there we read these 2. This one was so cute. I mean, it wasn't as deep. It was just very poetic, and it was founded in real science. So everything was true, when my oldest was like, yeah, that's true. And then this one's really awesome as a spine. If you're having like a specific fungi study, I would definitely get this one, either from the library or for your own homeschool library. It is so, we didn't get through it at all, but it has so much. But we dove into a little bit that we could use in our tree unit study. It is so good. This one, I'm just gonna share this one. This one I really wanted to use. I had planned that we should read a little bit about different people and different trees, but we never got around to this one. And then there are 2 more books that I just wanted to share where I feel they're very close to our spine book. So I would only get like, let me find the spine book again. This one, or this one. They have much of the same. This one, my daughter really loved it. It's so cute and fun. And this, she can definitely read this herself. This one and this one is very much the same. So I would get, one of them. I think next time if we're having another tree study, and I think we might because we loved it, then we might just go through this instead. And but it's kind of the same knowledge, just presented differently. So that was all the books we used in our study. But I love trees. I write poetry about trees, and I'm gonna go through all the books that I didn't pull out for this study, and that we didn't use, and just show them real quick. Books that I love and that I think are amazing. So the first one is this one, A Leaf Can Be, which is so poetic and beautiful and cute and really good for the toddler. The next one is One Leaf Rides the Wind, which is also poetry, and it's also a counting book, which I think could be good to get into the unit study of trees with. Another one that we have loved, we've used it in, we've had several tree unit study, is another counting book, but look at the illustrations, and it's just a beautiful way of describing these trees. Then there's this one, The Tree Lady, which we've also read. I'm just gonna, I could talk and talk. About how she preserves the trees and the woods, and I'm just gonna go super fast. Here's again a tree, and this is a little bit from the tree's perspective, but look at these illustrations, it's so beautiful. Then if you want a little historical and religious, maybe cultural perspective, there's this one, Under the Bodhi Tree, and that's where in the story about Buddha, that's where he got his enlightenment. So this is also like a way of looking into trees. Now I'm going to share a few awesome books. This is just a good one for the home library. It's not a super living book, but it's a good one to classify and look stuff up, especially around 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade. Then I have a little sticker activity book that we never use. I love these activity books, and then we never use them. But it is good. If your kids are into stickers, this one, I can recommend this. The Busy Tree, such a cute little story. Again, wonderful illustrations, a good one to have. Then I got some watercolors, watercolor in nature, watercolor in the forest, which I think could be good if you wanted to do some watercoloring. I love the Gibbons books. We never got to use this one, and I got it for my daughter when we had another tree study, and I'll definitely pull it for my younger daughter when she gets this age, because I think they're so pretty, and you could have like a whole plant and tree unit study. Then there are the Botanicum. Because of the size of them, I love the illustrations. We never pull them out because they're always laying somewhere. I have to find room for them. So if there's a publisher out there, think about the size. Like parents don't pull them out if they're too big. Then I love these little square books. We have several of them, like your square in a backyard. And I can't remember, I think we have an ocean one too. I think they're just super cute, and they have some cute experiments, they have some cute illustrations, and they have a lot of text. I think they're really good for like a 3rd, 4th grade, but you could also just, you know, go through them with your 1st, 2nd grader. This one, again, 1st, 2nd grade, super cute. And then there is this one, again, if you wanted to have some history perspective, some cultural perspective, you know. I'm from Denmark, and I didn't know about this woman who planted millions of trees and created forests. Here she is. So that's also a good angle if you want to do a reinforced unit study. And then there's the world of forests, which have these little sounds of different animals, which is also super fun if you're into that. And it shows you like different forests, and one here from California. Then because we're in California, I always have this, I always try and pull this out when we have about different plants, because I know all the Danish plants and trees, but I don't know that much about the American I mean, I learn, but you know, it's always fun to learn more. So this one is a good one too. Then there's this one, again, this is more plant than tree, but I just pulled it out because I thought it was cute, and it's, I want to say kindergarten, 1st, 2nd grade, maybe even 3rd. And here you can see the beans that we couldn't get to turn the right way. So this is also just a super easy, I won't call this a living, it's not, you know, super engaging in that way, but it's, for me, it's good to pull out, and it has like some good illustrations that we can talk about. I mean, you can, as a homeschool teacher, you can make the book living if it has a great illustrations, and I feel this one is one of them that have that. Then we have this, who would plant a tree, which I remember in when she was maybe 1st or kindergarten, we also had a tree unit study, and we love this story because it's fun about how they plant different, that these carry the seeds, some eat them, a dolphin swim, you know, some of them poop them out, some of them drop them, and it's just a fun, engaging way for kids to know how trees get around. Then there's this one, which I like, but I feel it's kind of the same as this one, and I would get this one, I think, if I were to pick. But this one, if you have this one, or if you like this one, they're very much the same. Very much the same, these two. So this is just more specifically trees, where this also have a little more. So yes, and then for my last one that I actually had hoped to do in this unit study, because I'm trying to teach myself how to watercolor. I love this one, and this could be so good for so many activities. And there are different, you know, tree and forest drawings in here that you can do. So this was my last one. So I've shown you a lot of books. Some of them we use, some of them we love, some of them we don't use as much. But I think this is definitely not my first or last tree unit study. So if you made it to here, thank you for watching my video. I really hope that you can use this. And like and subscribe, comment if you have any other awesome tree resources down here. Maybe others can use it. I'd sure love to get some more recommendations. And have a wonderful week out there. Thank you so much for watching.